You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
The house is still up. We haven't burned everything down, just maybe like 80% of it. And
yeah, give or take.
Give or take.
It's kind of an 80-20 split. It's how I hear things generally work around. It's kind of
how it generally works. Turns out Alabama did 80% of the playing. We did 20% of the playing in the SEC championship game. Okay. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs. Glad you're with us. Sincerely, this is a podcast for fans, by fans. We don't pretend to be anything else. We will have people on here that do stats and all that good stuff. Daniel and I talk like fans do. So this last 2 days, we have been up in our feels. You know why? Because that's what fans do. Fans get up in their feels about how bad their team plays. And Daniel and I were here for it. We are starting. Just listen here.
Be careful. Choose your words carefully here.
We are starting to crawl out of the pit of despair.
I think you saw it at the end of yesterday's pod. And
I
think we're going to continue to snowball that forward. We'll see. I might make some statements at some point today.
Look, if you guys go, just like Bama fans were going back to our old podcast to listen to our cold takes and expose us. Go back and listen to some more because you will see us get up in our feels in those previous podcasts. So we can do it. I promise you. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for listening to us on the audio side of the podcast as well as YouTube. Subscribe. Get over there as we gear up for this playoff run come New Year's and against Michigan. We will get to all of that later. We'll get to the Michigan game later. We have plenty of time, y'all.
No Michigan talk yet. We're not.
Look.
We're not trying to get into that yet. Listen,
I am looking for Michigan man.
Some Michigan fans found their way, though. Did you hear that? Did you see? So Michigan, they get lost in the real tryhards from Alabama in the comments, but
a lot of crossover.
Michigan man did find his way into the comments, and so we'll get to you when we get to you. But
just
right now,
take a ticket, okay? I have a hair in the cinnamon baklava. Just take a ticket.
We're trying to sift through all of these Alabama fans right now, and it's
a lot. A lot of y'all.
Let's maybe give some more SEC championship game thoughts, some more general thoughts about the team here as we're now several days removed from the game. Let's talk about some. We started this conversation yesterday. Maybe this is a good framework. Yesterday we began talking about what does this mean, what this does not mean. It does mean we are no longer in the running for best college football team of all time. We're no longer in the running for best Georgia Bulldogs team of all time. We're no longer in the running for, for whatever. It does not mean that we cannot win the national championship. It does not mean that all of our goals are still in front of us. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. I'll open the podcast with it today in case you missed it yesterday. Georgia fan, listen to me. You are conditioned to believe. You're conditioned to believe that when a game like this happens, it means the season's over. Because typically speaking, when a game like this happens, the season's over. It happened in 2018.
Pick a year. Pick a year.
It happened in 2012. It happened in whatever. Pick the year. It doesn't really matter. Alabama fans in the comments will tell you all about it. They'll tell you about all those years that they have just relished in all of those games. We're conditioned to believe, unlike Alabama, who gets everything given to them that they want, we're conditioned to believe that when we lose a game to Texas A&M, Alabama, when we lose a game to Alabama, that the season's over. That's it. End of story.
Pack it up.
It's been a good year, but now let's burn everything to the ground. Let's spend 2 months talking about how we should fire Kirby Smart. And then National Signing Day comes, and guess what? We love Kirby Smart again. And then next year's team rolls around, and guess what? This is the year. We're going to get it done this year. Georgia fans, you're already on that trajectory.
Like,
and let me just stop you
yep.
because there's still more games to play. And I'm not talking about the Citrus Bowl or
No.
the Cheez-Its Bowl.
No.
We're talking about there's still 2 more games on the schedule, all things you hope. And then there's still a national championship out there. Now, listen, are we going to be favored to win the national championship? No, we are not.
No,
we're not. Do Clint and I think we're going to win the national championship? In this moment, no, I do not. But it's still there. It's still in front of us.
Correct.
Because, again, we have been that team all year. Alabama went out and defecated on the bed to Texas A&M. So they had to beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, and kudos to them, they did.
They didn't defecate on the bed one time, Daniel. There were 3 times that they defecated the bed. They just escaped with 2. We have dominated. So this is what gives us thought. I'm not even going to say it. It gives us thought of these 2 games. Yes, Georgia fan, we're still within striking distance. And that's all you can hope for. That's all you can want in these playoff games, in these high-leverage games. A million things have to go right, and a million things have gone right for a bunch of teams before. Even those who should have don't. We're in the hunt, and that's all you can ask for. Hey, we're going to come back and talk about more thoughts of this Georgia team and of this playoff run that we are in the midst of. But first, we'll let you know about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a leader in college fantasy. Daily fantasy. If you do daily fantasy, if you do any sort of thing like that, you know that daily fantasy is just a cesspool out there. But now with Prize Picks, it's a leader in college sports daily fantasy, offers more college props than anyone else in the world, from star players that you know to mid-majors. It offers any prop you can think of, from yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown, or how many times Stetson Bennett won't complete a pass on 3rd down. All your users right now, you all out there.
Can I get a prop on how many old episodes Alabama fan will listen to and then post clips of? Is there a prop on that?
That's the one Prize Pick said no.
You said any prop I can think of, and this man's got such little of a life that he said, bet that I won't go and find them all.
If you have a daughter, I can just T's and P's to her, man. Like, just.
I don't know how long the breaks are at Kmart, but they must be really long. Like, they must be.
Price Picks. All users right now can deposit into Prize Picks with promo code LOCKEDON and get 100% match up to $100. You put $100 in, they'll match up to $100. All of it with promo code Locked On. Prize Picks allows mixed sports entries. It's award-winning app both the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is safe and has fast withdrawals. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com. Promo code Locked On, or go to the App Store and download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy.
Kmart, that's why you're bankrupt, by the way. You're bankrupt because the breaks are too long. You're giving the employees too long to sit in their car.
This man wrote a doctoral dissertation research portal on our podcast, and I thank him for it.
You love to see it. No, you love to see it.
Sincere, I do sincerely thank you. All right, Daniel.
Here's my last thought on this.
Okay.
And then I want to get back to this Georgia team. If you don't think, first of all, this is point 1, and I told you Michigan fan will get to you in a minute, and I'm not going to. Is
this a more you need, the more you know segment?
It's not, but it's close. It's not worth the button, but it's close.
Okay.
And you know what?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not going to explain this. I'm just going to say it, and you're going to hear it, and that'll be the end of the content. If you don't think we're going to beat Michigan, you're an idiot. Georgia fan, Michigan fan, Alabama fan, I don't care who you are. You are an idiot if you don't think we're going to beat Michigan. That's the end of that sentence.
Look, here's the deal. I don't have any more money to bet with because I blew it all in the SEC championship game. So I'll be scrounging around for any change that I can in cars. Your car, maybe. No promises it won't be your car, listener, but I'm scrounging for change in. But I'm waiting. Misdemeanor if it's under a certain amount, Daniel.
I didn't research. Okay, Justin B. tweeting. Can we get a ruling? Can we get a ruling on Clint's?
If I enter the car for money, is that Grand Theft Auto? Or is it just, okay, just tell us just in between. Look, here's the deal. I'm waiting for the money from the public to come in on Michigan, and that line's going to drop below 7. And hello.
All right, point 2. Alabama fans are out there celebrating this national championship like, they're hanging the banners. And listen to me, Alabama fans, kudos to you. Raise your glass. Kudos to you for winning the national championship and just letting that confetti fall down on you because the season's over and you've done it. The hay's in the barn. Things are looking really good, Alabama. Boy, would it be a shame if on January the 10th you split the season series with those lowly Georgia Bulldogs and you got nothing. Remember LSU, Alabama? I know you do. I know you do remember LSU. Do you remember that?
I remember.
Do you remember how they won that SEC title? And what did that mean for them, Alabama? What did it mean? It meant nothing. It meant nothing because you won the national championship. Boy, it would be a shame. Alabama fans don't want to play Georgia again.
They don't want to play us again.
In the comments. Nope. I don't care what they're saying in the comments. They do not want to play Georgia again. And
I heard all of them before the SEC championship game, Daniel, and all of them were saying they don't like their chances. They don't want to play us, y'all.
But they won the national championship, so they're celebrating as if they won the national championship. And kudos to them for winning the national championship again. Alabama, your 2021 college football national champions. Congrats.
Can I just – I've seen this too many times, and we're going to go on to our third segment here in a second. I've seen this too many times to really get into the deep weeds of this, but Georgia fan, how we have won this season, you're going to have to get comfortable and convince yourself we can beat Bama with who we were all season, which means this. Stetson Bennett playing quarterback. JT Daniels is not playing quarterback.
He's not playing.
Stop.
Let's just don't do this for a month because you're just going to be disappointed. I don't care. And you could spend a month hating Kirby Smart. That's fine.
Sure.
It doesn't matter to me, you, or Kirby, whether or not you hate him. It's fine. We have opinions. You have opinions. It's fine. Here's the reality. As Clint said, Stetson Bennett's playing quarterback.
So we will have to beat Michigan and Alabama the way that we have beat every team, which is getting right on defense, being on pace on first and second down, and having Todd Monken hit a couple of explosive plays to Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, and that is how you win. So get your mind right now.
And Brock Bowers.
Yep.
And Brock Bowers.
Yep.
And Brock Bowers.
Yep. That's the recipe. Okay. If you don't like the restaurant, it's like going to Taco Bell and saying, I wanted a burger. That's your fault. It's not Taco Bell's fault. It's your fault.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And there aren't many things, to be clear, that aren't Taco Bell's fault. But this one actually isn't. So
this one isn't. Okay.
That's big. All right. Let's talk more what this means, what this doesn't mean, Clint. Before we do, want to tell the fine folks about betonline.ag. They are your online sportsbook experts. They are the place to go to place all these wagers. If Clint thinks that line's going to get down under 7, boy, you better be saving those Kmart checks so that you can put it on them because you know and I know that is just free money. Betonline.ag is the place to do it. Go there right now. Enter the promo code Locked On. You're going to get a 50% bonus on your initial deposit. 50% is half of the amount that you originally put in, Alabama fans. And so you go to betonline.ag. They give you free money. You use it to make a deposit, to place wagers on all of your favorite teams, the NBA, the NFL, college basketball, college football, golf, hockey, lacrosse, whatever is your sport of choice. You can do it at betonline.ag. Enter that promo code Locked On, and you get a 50% bonus on your initial deposit at betonline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.
We'll let you know also about Built Bar. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. And right now it's the holiday season, y'all. You need to get people these Built Bars, okay? Why? Because they're tasty. You know what? Here, go ahead, get a box, BuiltBar.com. Go to get a box. Pick all the chocolate, get some peppermint, maybe get some double chocolate, maybe get some holiday flavors in a birthday cake. You cut them up in nice little pieces. Make them like cute little triangles or something. You put them on a plate and you just let people have them, and they're going to ask you, what delicious candy is this? Did you make this? Where did you get this recipe? Because they're not going to be able to know it's a protein bar. Here's a hot take. Come with a Built Bar platter to your holiday party. No one's going to be mad at you at the holiday Christmas party. You got to soak up. Look, certain holiday parties need something to soak other things up with, Daniel. Okay? Nobody's ever been promoted with an open bar, but people have been fired. Head over to BuiltBar.com right now. Put in promo code LOCKEDON15. Get 15% off your entire order. BuiltBar.com, promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your entire order. Dave, what do you want to finish telling the people as they get their mind right about this Georgia team heading into this push?
Listen, I think you said it. This is the style that we play. This is the style Georgia's going to have to win with. If you want Georgia to come out here and win a 48-45 game, then that's not going to happen. If Georgia comes out against Michigan or Alabama and gets a 40-burger hung on them, they're probably not going to win the game. Like, that's just not the type of game that this Georgia team is going to win. What Georgia needs to do to win games is play good defense and then, Clint, not turn the ball over.
That's the key.
The SEC championship game, first touchdown Alabama scores is a complete busted coverage. Just an absolute man running free, miscommunication. You have a safety sprinting towards the line of scrimmage, vacating the zone that he's supposed to be playing. And can you go on to the next point? Can you go? I can't. No, I can't, because people are not talking enough about how bad Lewis Cine was in this game. I'm tired of hearing Stetson Bennett's name. Stetson Bennett
atrocious.
Was awful.
Yes.
Let me just be totally clear. Awful. And quite frankly, he's not been very good a lot this year. Okay?
Correct.
It's fine. But Lewis Cine was so bad in this game. So you had busted coverages, and then you had turnovers. Again, going back on, but to just right in the face of my previous point, we're going right back to Stetson Bennett. When you have turnovers that are in your red zone.
Yes.
That's point one.
Point one.
You have turnovers in the opponent's red zone that lead to touchdowns. That's point two. Listen, you score touchdowns instead of giving up touchdowns on turnovers.
Interesting.
You don't have flagrant busting coverage. Now, Kirby said, and we all saw, there were plenty of times that we got beat in this game, okay, against Alabama. But particularly when you look at the second half, and even as you look at the first half, and even as you look at that second quarter where the wheels just seemingly all fell off for Georgia, this is not rationalizing to say this is us playing really poorly. So if you think I'm saying anything other than Georgia played really poorly, then you're completely misunderstanding. But these are some correctable mistakes is what I'm saying, Clint. It's not like they came out and ran by us to the tune of 41 points because they're bigger, stronger, faster, and better than us.
Nope.
They ran by us, Clint, for about 28 points because they were bigger, stronger, faster, and better on those plays. No dispute from me on that. No dispute. But 7 of them on a pick six, and at least I'm going to say 7 more, probably 10 more. Maybe
I was going to say 10
more on just absolute bonehead busted coverages.
Donkey coverages.
Absolutely. I'm not saying Georgia will clean those things up. Number one, again, we're not talking about the Michigan game. We're talking about the last Saturday's Alabama game.
Correct.
All I'm saying is those are correctable mistakes, and they are mistakes that we have seen Georgia make occasionally.
Yes.
But we have not had a team that could absolutely lay the hammer down the way that Alabama can and really make you pay for those. And Georgia got caught in that on Saturday, and that was it. It was all she wrote. We were done.
Daniel, if you look, this is Kirby, this is Dan, this is the staff. Todd is opening the playbook up, which he always has. He has an offense that is explosive, so that's but I had a buddy in grade school that we would trade baseball cards, okay? And he would not trade a baseball card in his life without first going to the reference guide and seeing the value before and the value after. And he just refused.
All in that Beckett's. He had that Beckett's life down. You understand?
Okay.
If you don't know what a Beckett's magazine is, thoughts and prayers about your life.
You didn't have a childhood. You did have a childhood.
You lived a full life.
And he just wouldn't do it because he was risk averse on taking that step and going out and doing something like that. And I hated it because I would be asking for these trades. I thought they were reasonable. I thought they were fine. And sure enough, who's holding his bag today that's got cards of Chipper Jones rookie card? Mark does. He's got that card still. He wouldn't trade it to me because he had that Beckett magazine. No matter what favorite player I had of his on the Giants, he was not giving that up. Fred McGriff, he had that card. He had Andrew Jones. He had the cards I wanted. He didn't. Okay. Kirby Smart is my friend Mark in grade school. Okay. He is my
favorite analogy in the world. I don't even know what it is yet, but I love it.
He is not going to all of a sudden come out and change who he is in this game. And you know what? It might infuriate you as you're trading with him. It infuriated me. It drives you crazy.
So many of you, sure.
But he takes small incremental changes and steps, okay, from year to year to year. This year, he's midway through a transition, and he refuses to give up the big picture of defense wins, offense loses. So I'm going to keep the game close. I'm going to manage it. If you think under 47 seconds before the half ends, Kirby Smart's going to do anything, then run a run play to see if he gets a first down and then go high tempo after that. You haven't watched Kirby. You haven't watched him. And if he gets only 3 yards in that first rush, guess what he's going to do? He's going to go to half.
Going to halftime.
This is who he is. But the good news is this, Georgia fan, please believe me. That can win. It infuriates us, but it can win.
Now,
and that's what was important.
I'll say this. I'll end where I started. I'm not telling you to have faith in this Georgia team.
Nope.
That would be disingenuous. Okay?
Nope.
I'm not ready to do that. Okay? I'm not telling you to believe that we're going to win the national championship. That, I think, would be borderline foolish. But what I'm telling you, Georgia fan, is be careful. Because although we lost the big one, and Alabama won the big one, and although Alabama is celebrating as if they won the national championship, you better let the season end, Georgia fan, before you start spouting off about how Kirby Smart can't win and how Kirby Smart is a loser.
Just like we were spouting off that we couldn't wait to win the SEC championship, we should have shut our mouths. So
yeah, maybe
take advice.
Just let the season, and maybe it will, and maybe he'll lose, and maybe he'll prove you right, and you'll look good. But maybe you'll look just as idiotic as those Alabama fans celebrating the national championship on December the 4th. The national championship is actually played on January the 10th.
All right, Daniel, we got to get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, check us out on YouTube or the podcast.